5 weeks ago, you were a maths teacher from the city of Horodok, western Ukraine. Then the call came to report for duty. Relying on all your inner fortitude and patriotism, you answered it. You had always been a quiet, introverted soul, never quick to anger, and someone who would never choose violence as a solution. Yet here you are now, in a shallow trench on the outskirts of the Kremin Forest, clutching your AK-74. You are dirty, scared, and you miss your wife. Yesterday you saw your colleague blown to pieces by an unlucky artillery strike, your left hand is shaking uncontrollably, and the smell of rotting human flesh wafts across from no man's land. Then for the first time, you heard a noise and someone screams, "Tank!" You see the behemoth, a barrel protrudes from its rounded dome-like turret, its tracks clatter and bang. You had never seen one before in the flesh. I mean, obviously you had seen them in books and on TV, but never like this. Suddenly it stops moving, its barrel swings down and towards your general direction. You are mesmerized and struck with fear. When its cannon roars, you throw yourself into the bottom of the trench. The ground heaves as the shell lands just in front of your position. You feel the air being sucked out of your lungs. The blast of heat washes over you. You lie there, wishing you were somewhere else as blood runs gently out of your right ear and down your neck. Why did the Russians have to come here, you think angrily. Gritting your teeth and summoning your last vestiges of courage, you peer over the trench line. It's closer now. It looks like the angel of death as one of its machine guns starts to chatter. Tracer moves steadily up and down your line of the trench. You hear a scream, followed by medic, medic. They never taught you how to identify the type of tank, and for now, it just looks horrific. Its intent is clearly to erase you all from the earth, and for a split second you think, I wish he would just do it. Your platoon sergeant shouts, RPG up front. About 40 yards to your right, you see young Vladimir appear. He is clutching his RPG. Despite the distance, you can see he is shaking. He wipes the dirt from his face and shoves a tandem warhead rocket into his aging launcher. The sergeant smacks him on his helmet and mouths something to him. The young boy, who you believe is only 19, smiles back gingerly and then peers over the trench line and takes aim. As he does so, a 100mm high-explosive round hits the trench wall just behind him and ignites. You find little consolation in the knowledge that the overpressure from the round probably killed Vlad before the explosion did, because you are flung back and out of the trench by the force of the blast. Gathering your thoughts, you look back to where your anti-tank crew was positioned on this supposedly quiet part of the front, and it's just a smoking hole now. Vlad, the sergeant, and anyone who may have been there are gone. You are now wearing a massive concussion. You stumble drunkenly back into the trench. Looking up, you see the tank is closer. Now out of ideas as to what to do, you pick up your AK and send off a burst in the monster's general direction. The rounds just ping off its metal exterior, but at least you're fighting back, for Vlad, for Ukraine. Tears stream uncontrollably down your face, the memory of your wife firmly in your jumbled up mind. The tank continues to send round after round of high explosive and tracer into your company's defensive positions. As the ringing in your ears subside, you can hear the scream of the wounded and the moaning of the dying. Your eyes glaze over as the concussion takes back your senses. Suddenly an almighty explosion throws you violently around the trench. You stumble to your feet and look over at the monster. It's a burning, smoking ruin. The barrel is gone, as is the turret. Realizing the threat is over, you slump back into your trench and close your eyes. You must have passed out because you are awakened by a patting on the shoulder. A blonde-haired person looks at you. You can see his lips moving, but you cannot hear a thing. Sensing you are having difficulty, he shouts louder. He is speaking English. An American. It was just a T-55. You swear at him in Ukrainian and close your eyes again.